So the first round of 2020 comes at Lyons Municipal Golf Course, of course, on a pretty chilly morning for Austin anyways. Also happens to be the first round where I've tried recording video, so let's get started. It's a normal 4-iron down to the corner of this dog leg unless you yank it to the left, in which case you just got to get lucky, which is what happened. Well, maybe not lucky, but at least had an ability to chip it out and try and run it up towards the green. Ended up a little bit short of the green, which turns out okay. First chance to show my unimproved chipping skills in 2020. So that pretty crummy chip left me with about 12-15 feet for par to open up 2020, but left it a little bit low here and ended up settling for the bogey. Fairway drive and pedestrian 3-wood left this pitch, which comes up a little bit short here, but on line. So the first smart decision of 2020 is putter off of the green here for birdie on the second hole, which I didn't make. Decent approach here on the third hole, but it goes just a little bit long, leaving up a moderately long birdie approach here. Now, unfortunately, we're going to leave it here on the low side once again. Par 3 fourth hole, goes a little bit left of the target line over the bunker. Honestly, after the first hole, I don't really hate this chip. Still comes up short, but at least I gave myself a chance. I mean, it wasn't a good chance, and I didn't make it. I'm starting to wonder if my miss is a hook. Got lucky off the miss. Ended up hitting a pretty decent approach shot, a little thin, but at least it got me on the green in regulation. Left myself with this pretty long downhill birdie putt. That's rude. Yeah, that's definitely the miss. We're going to need to work on that. Had a chance to get back up over the top of it though, get it back into play. Under 100 yards is historically a real big problem, so I was actually glad to see these actually land on the green. So getting a little bit better here from this distance over the morning. I mean, after the tee shot, I really can't expect much more than an attempt at a par. And while this one obviously doesn't go in here, at least it was a pretty easy bogey. I'm not even going to show the tee shot, it was that bad. But finally found a little bit of touch with the chip. Ran this one up there pretty close, was able to tap in. Well, it's a miracle. 4-iron actually went straight this time. A little bit right of the target, but it tried to draw back just a touch. Second shot did find the surface, so we get our first eagle of 2020 right here. Nah, I'm just kidding, it didn't go in. No eagle, but I was cocky enough to walk up there and attempt the birdie putt without reading it, which luckily I made. Starting to find a little bit of a 6 handicap rhythm here in the middle part of the round. Got this approach shot up on the green. Long birdie putts are better than long par putts, and short par putts are better than long par putts. Made par to finish the front 9. Well, after a confident into the front 9, left myself here with a drop after hitting it into the pond off the tee. This actually came up a bit short, leading to a bogey putt here on the 10th hole. Didn't know it at the time, but this was going to be the high water mark from a pitching perspective. Really good shot here. Left it about 4 feet. Putting downhill, but got the second birdie of the day here with this putt. After a fairway drive, I had this 4-iron. A lot of swing thoughts here. Realized I was aiming too far left. Ended up trying to fade it in the middle of the backswing. Came up just a little bit short. Decent chip shot here. Unfortunately left it a little bit on the high side, so would be putting downhill for birdie. Never got comfortable. Ended up leaving it high. Tried to be a hero here. Left it way short on this downhill tee shot. Should have definitely taken an extra club, which led to a super fat chip, and then ultimately this prayer of a chance from 30 feet for par, which ultimately came up quite a bit short. Nice shot shape, but it kept going left across the cart path up there. After dropping from an unplayable lie, ended up hitting this pretty solid little hybrid that drew right around to the front of the green. So we're scrambling now, but hit a nice little chip up here. And made the par putt to save par even with the stroke. On 14, I did what I should have done on 12 and took an extra club and ended up getting up on the green pin high even though it wasn't super on line. Birdie putt got a little bit aggressive here, but still was able to make the comebacker for par. The 16th hole, where my good rounds go to die. On the tee, feeling pretty confident at 3 over, and fan the 3 wood way out. How do you get a triple bogey, you ask? Oh, I don't know, try and chip out, hit the tree and go back behind me. And then say, screw it, let's go for the green. I can definitely get there, no problem. Except, oh, I clipped the tree and splashing. After the drop, trying to hit wedge up here to hopefully save double, but pull it just a little bit left. So a double bogey attempt, of course, after a drop. What would you expect? Ended up putting it down there, miss it, but went ahead and made the triple. I guess anything less than a triple would be a bounce back after a triple, but hit a pretty decent little 5-iron up here to the front of the green. And while I underread the birdie putt, easy par. The drive rides the wind a little bit off to the right-hand side, but still left me with a decent approach in. But a couple of indifferent shots later, including a pretty thin chip, had this for par, which ended up missing on the low side. So, bogey to finish. All in all, not a bad start to the year. Had a couple of wild shots, a couple of 3 penalty shots actually, but scrambled really well for a 78.